Mind blown. What did I just say? Two great minds thinking alike, I'm just saying. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Thanks for clicking on my video. My name is Pam. I'm a professional organizer, and on my channel I like to share all things organized with you. And today I am actually going to be doing a React video. This video actually was brought to my attention by my daughter, and she said, "Mom, you have got to do a React video on this particular YouTuber." And who am I doing it on him?
Adam Savage.
Adam Savage, is he did Mythbusters,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, I like him. Okay. All right. So we are going to do a React video. What does he have to do with organizing?
You'll see.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, so why don't we just get started?
You might watch these videos regularly and wonder to yourself, I wonder what it's like to have a shop like that. It's a totally reasonable thing. I do the same thing when I watch other people's shop videos. One thing you might not pick up on are some of the great unfinished projects in this shop. For instance, this stack here of my ladder of all the pliers and nippers and stuff like that, it is in sore need of rebuilding. It needs real attention, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay, here's the thing. I find that there are two types of people who struggle the most with unfinished projects. One being very creative or artistic people. They have so many beautiful ideas, too many beautiful ideas, and they collect the supplies needed for those ideas. But realistically, they may not have enough time to get all of those done. The second being perfectionists. They often feel that if they cannot complete the project from start to finish perfectly, they're not even going to start it at all. I'm going to guess Adam Savage falls more towards that first personality type of very creative and artistic.
Today's shop infrastructure video is about that wall. Material storage.
Wow.
It's a total fight. And it's almost useless right now. I'm out of plywood.
Okay, when areas in our lives get disorganized, those areas no longer support what we need to do. Those areas will actually fight our productivity and goals. So his description of it being useless describes in a nutshell what disorganization does to areas we use. So let's continue.
But let's talk about material storage, because I'm about to shift some things a little bit here based on usage patterns.
Ooh, that's a good point he made. That is exactly how things should be set up. Here's the thing, items you use the most should be placed in areas that are easiest to get to. So setting up an area based on usage patterns is positively brilliant. So I give him a round of applause. Now let's get back to it.
Roughly what we have here is, over here on the right, I've got like the corrugated cardboard, some of the exotic materials like masonite and foam board. And then next to that, I got some acrylic and some aluminum sheet, and then the left-hand four are all plywood. Clearly, I've got plenty of 1/4-inch plywood and 1/8-inch plywood, but I'm all out of all the other stuff. And all the scrap bins, they're just all farking useless right now.
You know, I like that he set up zones in that area. When you have a lot of product, setting up zones helps you find what you need a lot faster. Okay, so what's next?
There will be a nice amount of scrappage, but you gotta have a threshold with scraps. You have to have a threshold. You can't save everything. You can't save everything. You have to, you have to make a call. And what happens is you put that call off and you end up with this after a period of time.
He is so right. You can't save everything. Our homes or our workshops are limiting containers, meaning there's a limit to what they can hold. I mean, you can't fit 4 cups of water into a 2-cup container. It's just gonna spill all over. So like Adam says, you have to make a call. The stuff is not going anywhere and it's not gonna fix itself. At some point, you have to deal with it. Okay, onward.
In order to do this, I can't quite empty the whole thing out and then refill it. There's just not enough room. I'm standing in a 400 square foot space.
Bless you.
But it still will render this whole shop unusable for hours in order to start this process. But it's got to be done.
Okay, while taking everything out to sort it would be best, sometimes it's just not possible due to the space you have, like he was saying. And he is 100% right. It is going to get very messy before it gets better. He's also right that organizing that area is going to take a long time. But I really love his resolve that it's got to be done. I like that he's taking one section out at a time. That's really good. It looks like he's sorting them into like piles. Okay, I really like how he's starting out this project. Like I said, he is taking everything out of just one section at a time. Because of his limited space in that area, he can't pull everything out. So he's taking one little section at a time, taking it out, and then sorting what is in those little spots. And that is the key to organizing in the right order. Okay, when you are organizing, if you have watched my videos before, you've heard this before, so you can tune me out momentarily if you've heard this before. But if you're new to my channel, here is your lesson in steps to organizing a room. Remember the word space, and that stands for the order in which you organize. The S stands for sort your items first. The second step is P. Purge the excess, the things you no longer need, the things you no longer use, the things that are broken, that sort of thing. So you have sort, purge. Your third step is where you assign, A for assign, a space where those items that you have left are going. And then C stands for containerize. That's where you find, like he's got little cubbies, that's his container. Otherwise, some of us use bins, but C stands for containerize, and then E is your last step of organizing, and that's called equalizing. And that's where if something comes in, you need to let go of something. You equalize the balance of the inflow of stuff and the outflow, okay? So remember the word space, S-P-A-C-E, sort, purge, assign, containerize, and equalize. That's the order you organize any area with.
It is worth checking in. I've made a little bit of progress. I want to be clear, I still don't have a plan. I mean, I have a rough plan, which is to get this cleaned up.
Okay, before you start organizing any area, you really need to have a plan in place first. I mean, he has the rough plan, as he calls it, which is to get the area cleaned up. But you need a plan. You need to know where you're going so you can plan out how you're going to get there. Okay, let's get back to it.
I do think that there is a shift, and the shift is this. This is a 1/4-inch MDF, medium density fiberboard. I used the crap out of it in the 90s and the early aughts. It was like terrific modeling material, super lightweight, easy to work with. I built tons of shelves out of it. They all drooped because fiberboard creeps. And it's time to put away fiberboard as a building material for me. I have like 2 whole shelves of it, and I have not touched a single piece of fiberboard in 2 years. Building material here in the cave. It's time to give up fiberboard. That feels significant. So I'm gonna pull out all the MDF and LDF that I've got. I'm gonna put in a stack for donation.
Yay! He gets a gold star. He realizes that he's holding on to a lot of something that he really doesn't use anymore. And that MDF was taking up valuable space he needed and possibly making him think that he had those plywood pieces that he mentioned in the beginning of the video. I wish we all could organize that fast. I love when people put things in fast motion because it makes me think, oh, wouldn't life be great if we could just press a button and our bodies would go that fast? Look at that pile of donations on the floor. So far it looks like he's doing a wonderful job sorting everything, and it looks like he's grouping like items together in those slots, which is another good thing to do because it helps you find what you need when you need it a lot faster. And like I said, I like that big pile. I think that's his pile of donations on the floor there. Way to go. The only concern I have is possibly those little cubbies getting filled up too full. Because if he gets more product that needs to go in those cubbies, there's not really going to be any room for it. And if Adam gets something else that needs to go in those cubbies and there's no room, he might, like all of us, just say, well, I'm just going to place it in this slot for now, and then forget he has it. But overall, it looks like he's doing a wonderful job. Man, he's getting that garbage can nice and full. I love it.
All right, still making progress. Look, at this point in a cleanup reorg like this, if you feel like it's going wrong, it just means that you're not at the end of it yet.
That feeling of it going wrong might actually be a little decision fatigue setting in. And what I mean by that is decision fatigue. When you're organizing, you are constantly making decisions over and over and over, and sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's physically exhausting, but the thing is, when your brain has to make those decisions over and over again, after a time it will become fatigued. It's like if you try to run a marathon without ever jogging a day before in your life. When you don't normally organize daily and you go after this marathon session of decision making with what you're going to keep, what you're going to toss, what you're going to donate, after a certain time, decision fatigue sets in. And usually with my clients, it's around the 2 to 3 hour mark that you will see this glossy look come over their eyes, and you will make bad decisions at that point. You will either be so tired, you say, yeah, toss everything, and then you have regrets later, or you will do the opposite and you'll not be able to let anything go. You'll say, no, I have to keep it, and then you'll have regrets later on that. So be aware that when you do an organizing project, try to do it in chunks of maybe 2 or 3 hours at a time to avoid decision fatigue, which will lead to bad decisions. So I don't know if that's what's happening with him, because him doing all this time lapse, I don't know if it's a situation, how long he's been at it. But he seems to be really thinking things out well, and I applaud him for that. But that fatigues the mind after a while, and I like how he's just like going through his hair like that. Your brain starts to hurt, okay? So that might be what's happening. Or it could be that he didn't have a more structured plan in place before he started. Again, if you don't have a plan in place, you don't have that goal at the end, and you don't have that clear path of how to get to that goal. And that can often give you that very foggy, mind-like feeling that he might be experiencing. Okay.
It is completely normal to feel like it's like way still out of control. I've thrown out a whole bunch. I've made a sort of king's ransom of small scrap plywood for the tested team, and other friends have tested. And I've cleared up a bunch of space. I've gotten to know my materials shelves a lot better. And it's time to bring in about 100 pounds of plywood and a full box of foam board.
Oh my gosh. There's more coming into that workshop? Okay, I love that he mentions he's gotten to know his material shelves a lot better. Organizing helps you realize what you really have, and that is so important. Knowing what you have saves you time by not having to search for things, and number 2, money by not buying more because you can't find what you know you have.
Well, I can't say that the problem is wholly solved, but we've made tremendous strides here. So let's walk you through it. Over there on the far left here, we've got wrench shape and aluminum. Next to that, we've got sheet material, like non-standard sheet material, acrylic, Warbler, ABS, etc. Then in the middle there, we've got the plywood, 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/8 inch, etc. Then there's the foam cores. And then I actually ended up with a couple of empty chambers.
I actually love that he has open chambers, because that's actually what a lot of people don't do. They don't leave a little space open. Because here's the thing, you need to leave some space for new items coming in. Life is constantly moving and changing and evolving. And the way you can easily adjust to those changes is to leave room for them. Am I right?
And I still don't know what's going on over here for the most part, but I have discovered that I have a lot more Warbler than I thought I did. I have a lot more ABS and Kydex than I thought I did. And I've got a genuine glass mirror in there somewhere. This is a terrific exercise to figuring out what you have. And it's really pretty important to do like once a year.
Okay, first, regarding that section up on the right side that he wasn't sure what to do with, my advice would be to take your time and think it out. Because organizing is a process, it's not an event. Sometimes we need more time to think things out, and that's okay. I love that he's experiencing how good it feels to know what you have. It's a feeling of taking back control over your stuff. It's you controlling your stuff, not your stuff controlling you. And organizing gives you back that control. I like his once a year idea with organizing, because if you haven't used something in a year, you probably never will. Okay, let's get back to it.
Shop organization is such a constant subject. And one of the problems with the subject is that it is often discussed as a set of problems and solutions, which it is. But don't make the mistake of thinking that when you implement a solution, your problem is solved.
Very good point. That is so true. Again, like I said, organizing is a process. It's not a one-time event. Many of these transformation shows make it look like it's a happily ever after scenario. But like I said before, life is constantly changing and evolving, and an organized solution that worked well in the past may not fit with what you're doing now. Our schedules change, our priorities change, and even our interests can change over time. And that's why I always stress that organization is a process and not a one-time event. Okay, end of rant. Let's get back to it.
It is a paradox to manage. And that is also what a shop is. It is not a problem to solve. It is a set of paradoxes, and it is a process.
Mind blown. What did I just say? Two great minds thinking alike. I'm just saying.
And that little shift of I'm never going to achieve the solution for storage because I'm a learning computer. My proclivities and my biases and my preferences change over time, and so must my storage situations. And sometimes you have to wait until you have a point of view on what is important.
That's really freaky. It's like we had a Vulcan mind meld or something. But he's 100% right. Organization is definitely a process, not an event. Can I say that enough in this video? So take your time and set up organized systems that honor your personality, your habits, and what's currently going on in your life. I really enjoyed watching Adam organize his workshop there. Thank you, Emily, for notifying me about this video. I really enjoyed it, and I think I'm going to go over to his channel and check out some more of his videos and probably subscribe too, because I really enjoyed watching him on Mythbusters years ago. If you want to see his entire video without my interruptions and all my commentary on it, I will leave the link to this video in the description box below. Go check it out. Thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it, but he did a really nice job throughout his workshop. I love his thought process. He really thought things through. He was saying things that I preach to my clients all the time. And his recognition of how it is a process and not an event, and how he naturally grouped like items together and created zones in his workshop. Those are all things that are really going to help him and help boost the efficiency and the productivity in his workshop. So well done, Adam, well done! I applaud you. I think he did a great job and he brought up such valuable organizing points. So be sure to go watch it. I think you'll really enjoy it. Okay, so that about wraps it up for this React video. If you come across a video about organizing that you would like my input on it, please feel free to leave the link in the comments below and I will try to go check it out and maybe do a future React video on it. And if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by giving me a like down there. Just go poke that like button below, and while you're at it, why don't you click on that subscribe button too if you like hearing about all things organized. Until next time, take care, see you later. Hey, if you like this video, why don't you check out one of these over here? And don't forget, the links to my socials are found below.